Hi, my name is Lily Potter, and my topic for this course capstone is ocean noise pollution. So what is ocean noise pollution? Ocean noise pollution is anthropogenic noise or human-made noise that inhibits marine animals' ability to hear natural sounds. Many people may think a little background noise isn't a big deal, but noise in the ocean today can cause mass strandings, hemorrhaging, and ruptured organs in marine animals, although these are the worst-case scenarios. Sunlight can only go about 650 feet deep into the ocean, and any animals living deeper than that rely heavily on sound rather than light to navigate and find food. Ocean noise is also a bit worse than people think because sound travels faster and further underwater when compared to land. What are the sources of noise pollution? First, we have shipping vessels like tankers or ships. Noise from this source normally comes from the propellers or machinery on board those ships. Next, we have sonar equipment, which is used by our Navy or other countries' armies, normally used to locate enemies or other threats in the water. And lastly, we have seismic airgun exploration. This is used by oil and gas companies to search for oil and natural gas underneath the seafloor, and it is where they shoot pressurized air to the ocean floor and record the echo, and this can be very damaging to the marine animals underneath them. We can also see the average decibel range from each source, and if we look at this other photo, it shows that an ambulance is around 130 decibels, and a jet engine is around 140 decibels. This 10 decibel increase actually means that a jet engine is 10 times louder than an ambulance, which also means that a sonar and seismic air guns are about 100 times louder than a jet engine because they are around 200 to 250 decibels. Next, we're going to talk about each individual source's effect on marine animals. To start with shipping vessels, we have the short-term effects, which are collisions. Generally, when boats are going very fast and they hit an animal, this is going to be a lot more deadly towards that animal. So many places have put a maximum shipping speed in highly populated areas, which is very good for the animals because it leads to less lethal collisions, but it also has led to more collisions overall, just because as boats go slower, they are less loud, and many animals don't hear them in time to move out of the way. Next, we have traffic noise, which is just the masking of natural noises, which can also be pretty bad for animals because it makes it harder to find mates, harder to communicate, harder to find food, and harder to hear predators around you, which can lead to overall lower survival rates. Lastly, we have a long-term effect, which is a 10 decibel increase in the ocean over the last 50 years. That means that the ocean has actually got 10 times louder over the last 50 years, and this is from all of the sources of noise pollution, not just shipping effects. Lastly, this is a serious threat, but damages may be overestimated from shipping vessels. Most of the damages do come from collisions, and a lot of time the traffic noise effects are a bit overestimated compared to how they affect survival rates of marine animals. Next, we have the effects of sonar usage. Some of the more major effects are permanent or temporary hearing loss, ruptured organs, and even hemorrhaging have been seen in marine animals around sonar. Some other effects are mass strandings. In the year 2000, 16 whales washed up on shore in the Bahamas, and when 7 of these whales were examined, 6 of them were found to have severe inner ear damage and hemorrhaging. And after these findings were published, the U.S. Navy did admit to extensive use of sonar in these areas. Some other effects of sonar usage would be reduced communication. Again, we see this inefficient foraging, lower mating chances, harder to find food or avoid predators, harder to navigate your habitat. All of this will lead to lower survival rates overall. And we also see sonar injuring and killing invertebrates like scallops and squids, just because invertebrates are a bit more susceptible to damage when compared to vertebrates. Next, we have seismic airgun effects. As you can see from this photo, airguns are basically shooting highly compressed air towards the ocean floor and then recording that echo to analyze it and see what is under the ocean floor there. And these are not one-time blasts. These blasts are repeated every few seconds, 24 hours a day, for days or weeks at a time, which is not very good for the marine animals that live there. This can cause many marine animals to flee, which cause them not to be able to find food or mates, which can be very bad for their survival. Many animals are injured, whether that's minor injuries or major injuries like hearing loss. Whales have been shown to exhibit strange behavior. Boathead whales have actually been shown to start screaming when air guns are first going off and then fall silent minutes later. And sperm whales have been shown to eat a lot less during air gun exploration. Many marine animals mature deformed. Some fish brains won't develop correctly, some scallops will grow up deformed, and snow crabs have even been shown to have bruised ovaries, which will lead to a lower population for snow crabs. This is also extremely stressful for the marine animals that live there, and stress will lead to weakened immune systems and lower breeding rates, which overall will lead to lower survival rates of these animals. Lastly, what can we do to help? To start, we could start restricting sonar usage in highly populated areas or just banning it altogether in highly populated areas. I'm sure this would help a ton with the mass strandings that sonar can cause. Using alternatives to seismic air guns, although I don't think there are any alternatives that are out there right now. There has been talk of a sort of ocean vibrator, which uses vibrations instead of pressurized air to analyze the ocean floor, although this is a bit less effective than the air guns. And also with the maximum shipping speeds, obviously we have seen some headway in this where a lot of countries are putting maximum shipping speeds in highly populated areas, so that is very nice to see. And what can you do personally? Mostly what you could do would be to support organizations that fight to make these changes happen. And that's all for ocean noise pollution. Thanks for listening.